When we talk about agricultural exports, this is an area where we have a trade surplus with many countries. And I guess the fear in agricultural states would be that if we take a more muscular stance on trade, that some of the countries to which we export will retaliate and make our agricultural exports more expensive.
And especially those NAFTA countries. So NAFTA, since it was put into place in 1993, our trade, our exports to Canada and Mexico have gone up 5 times to over $40 billion. And that supports over 1 million U.S. jobs just on agricultural trade alone. And we have the most competitive agricultural system in the world, but it is dependent on our connectivity to international markets, increasingly so. And one of the things the president is going to hear, despite the fact that our farmers and ranchers were largely supportive of him in the 2016 election, is times have been tough since the end of the commodity supercycle in 2013. They're seeing profits going down, and what they can't afford is losing access to those international markets.
Can he take a hard stance on other areas of NAFTA, but not take a hard stance on ag?
Well, you know, there are a couple of these big issues that are still out there. The so-called sunset clause, which would allow us to end the agreement after 5 years. I think fundamentally that makes no sense. I don't know how you do any deal and have that go away after some fixed period of time. They're very focused on auto parts and the components in calculating NAFTA. And they're also very focused on the so-called investor-state dispute settlement mechanisms, ISDS. Those are the 3 poison pills that seem to be out there. But agriculture is something that is going to be very focused on this, and he will hear about it.
Outside of the NAFTA rubric, we do trade in agricultural commodities with other countries, China, Japan, and so forth. Bring me up to speed on that. And how agriculture could be affected by trade clashes, for example, between the U.S. and China.
Well, agriculture is one of the most protected things, one of the most protected products and goods for countries around the world. And so you could imagine, as you know, one of the things that Kayla has talked about on the shows in the past is some of these upcoming decisions coming out of the government on Chinese steel and aluminum. If we took, to your point, Tyler, a muscular approach on steel and aluminum, you could imagine China potentially retaliating with American agricultural products, soybeans, for example.
We're also expecting a bunch of very important decisions regarding trade in the January-February time horizon, whether it be solar panels, washing machines, or Boeing airplanes. So will that give us a window into the policy or the strategy he will go forth when it comes to renegotiating potentially NAFTA?
Yeah, this is a big upcoming few weeks on trade. You've mentioned some of these Section 201 and Section 232 investigations on steel, on aluminum, on commercial washing machines. There's also Boeing's claim as well as solar panels. So, you know, my general view on these topics is that these things have not been utilized by presidents in the past, I think, for good reason. So I think the president would be well advised to tread cautiously here and to take into consideration that a lot of these trade protections, whether they're tariffs or quotas, are likely to be ineffective, short-term, and fundamentally damaging to our economy.
Hey there, thanks for checking out CNBC on YouTube. Be sure to subscribe to stay up to date on all of the day's biggest stories. You can also click on any of the videos around me to watch the latest from CNBC. Thanks for watching.